Great Britain assistant coach Dayle joins me to chat about how the campaign is faring so far. Thanks for taking the time out to speak with me today. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. All good. It's an adjustment, certainly being in a bubble and it's a bit colder. Leaving a newborn baby and a very lovely missus at home is tough, but being here in this environment, obviously leaving the Blaze for a couple of weeks and not being there to support Stewie, again, it's tough. So it's just trying to keep my mind focused on doing the best we can in Romania. But we haven't seen anything of the city. We've literally just seen the bus and the ice rink. So, but to be fair, the hotel's really nice. The food's been great. So there's nothing really much for us to moan about other than that we actually can't physically go out.
Yeah. On that theme, how easy has it been for the players to kind of bond as a team and build chemistry in that bubble scenario?
It's probably done them a favour, to be honest. They're all they're on top of each other 24/7. There's been a card game going on every day, so they're all very happy taking each other's money off each other. So
day 3 of the World Championships is obviously a rest day for all the nations after playing 2 games in as many days. How has the group, i.e. the players and the coaching staff, spent the day?
Today we woke up, we had breakfast around about 9 o'clock. We initially we're going to have a video session this morning, but we decided just to push it back. It was going to be a review of last night's game and the Spanish game, just looking at some teaching clips and stuff. We actually moved that to this afternoon, but we just felt that we needed a little bit more time to kind of go through that. So we gave the guys an extra hour to have a rest, get a stretch, get into the mindset for heading down to the rink. So it was snowing this morning. It was beautiful. The snow flurry was really nice. So we jumped on the bus, headed down into the city. It's about a 20 minute drive on the bus. We got into the rink. Guys start getting prepared. Going to see John, the physio. He's doing a great job making sure the guys are all rested, recuperated, and making sure all the niggles and stuff that we've had over the past 4 games whilst we've been here have been kept under control. We just, from there, we get ready to go on the ice. We went on the ice about 12:30 it was. We ran through some nice warm-up flowy drills, and then we went into some more of our details that we felt we needed to improve on, and the boys responded really well to it. Every time the boys are stepping on the ice, they're taking in more information, paying more attention to the details. So we're slowly but surely getting there and trying to give these guys the most professional experience and getting them ready to hopefully make a step to the next level. We jumped on the bus, come back up to the hotel, had a little bit of a karaoke on the bus. Logan Nielsen was having a great sing along, and the boys were all joining in. So again, shows real credit to the camaraderie that the boys have all created. Come back, we had lunch. Myself and Martin have been going through the video clips, just getting our review prepared, just hashing out the details of what we needed to look at. And we brought the boys into one of the meeting rooms in the hotel and went through the past couple of days, looking at some of the details, getting some teaching clips and really trying to find some positives from the game yesterday. And there was some positives from the game yesterday, just wasn't so many in the first couple of periods, but a lot of good teaching clips, a lot of clips that we can show the guys on areas that we need to just be a little bit more diligent with. But the boys respond well. Then we had a special PP meeting, so both PP units stayed and we went through some of their looks that they had last night, just to show them what options are available for them and just tidying up things. But our PP's 33% right now, so we're pretty happy with it, and the PK's at 80%, so we're really happy where we are in terms of the special teams.
When you're going through the video work with the guys, like you were just speaking about, do you tend to go through with that in groups, or do you do any individual teaching, or is it just not the time at a tournament like this to do that?
There isn't an awful lot of time to do a lot of things individually. We brought in into the programme, which is a sort of analysis programme cuts the players' shifts and gives them breakdowns on how they played. There's a few different algorithms and stuff that breaks down to the various data points that they're looking at. But it gives the players a chance to individually, reflect, a bit of self-reflection. If we have some individual clips that we're clipping out, we'll just grab a guy. It takes 2 seconds to just grab a guy and go through it. But in terms of the meeting, we're looking at a lot of more things structurally and seeing, where we can improve. But then when we come into sort of pre-scout meetings, we're then looking more at the opposition and how we can break down their structure and what sort of things we need to implement in order to do that.
Has all your pre-scouting had to be done on video? Are you not allowed into the rink when GB are not playing?
Technically, we can stay. We just have to let the chairman of the tournament know so that they can provide a transport back to the hotel. But for us, staying there doesn't really make much of a difference to me. I'm going to be sitting on the computer anyway, tagging the game, so it makes no difference to me whether I'm there doing it or whether I'm in the hotel doing it.
Yeah. So a bit of a general question, really. How difficult, or not, as the case may be, has it been integrating so many rookies into international play, with IIHF competitions sort of notably being different from any kind of hockey that these guys might have played up until this point?
That's a really good question, and I think it's been absolutely perfect because we've had so many guys who are coming into it fresh that haven't had the experience, that haven't taken bad habits from one tournament to the next. So we've kind of started with almost a fresh, clean slate. Obviously, we've kept Alex has been 10 under 20s, Stents has been 10 under 20s. So the 2 guys that we've kept in at the under 20s are terrific ice hockey players and very, very good professionals. So it's been nice to have a clean slate, and boys have all really adapted well to the playing style. Obviously, a lot of our guys play in North America, so the smaller ice has been a bit of an adaptation for them. But they've soon realised that they've got a little bit more ice to skate into, and it does take its toll in the D zone when we're scrambling. You've got to go an extra 10 feet out of the way. But the boys have adapted really well, and we've been zipping the puck around pretty good so far. So I think we're really happy where we're at.
Just briefly touching on special teams again, because they are so important in these tournaments. Obviously, you had success against Spain, but not so much against Lithuania on both sides of the coin there. Is there a worry that you haven't scored as much as you wanted to, or are you just happy with the process right now? Are you working towards your final goal and you're happy with what the guys have achieved up until this point?
Well, we're sitting at 33% on the PP, so that's a pretty good number. Anything above 20% you would be happy at. But I'm referring to the Lithuania game. It was the game itself was very, start-stoppy, choppy. The refereeing is a little different to what a lot of our guys. So there wasn't much chance for anybody to get some flow in the game. And our PP, we had some really good looks, but their goalie played really well. And we seen from the Lithuania-Italy game on Monday that the Lithuanians were very keen on shot blocking. And they did a terrific job against the Italians, and again they did a terrific job against us, getting in the lanes. So when you're going up against teams that can really scramble well, then it does make it tough. And in this short, format, you only play one team once, so you're sort of trying to adapt as quick as you can. So a lot of that has to be sort of done in game, but there's only so much you can do within the game in order to try and break it down. So at times we've got to just stick with our structure and keep getting the looks, and eventually, we'll succeed.
Yeah,
I think we're really happy with where our power play's at.
Yeah, on the other side of the ledger, GB have taken 11 minor penalties through the 2 games. I know most of those were in that Lithuania game. Again, is that just part of the learning process for these guys right now, just learning to adapt to this hockey?
Well, the IIHF rules are, played within Europe, and they should be implemented within the North American game as well. But it is a little bit tighter here with anything sticks on the hands. The late hit rule was something that's been in the game for a few years now, but it's maybe let go a little bit more at home. So adapting to that is not so much a challenge, but it's just adapting to it. But we're really happy with the team's discipline. We haven't taken any silly penalties. We haven't. The boys have all been selfless The penalties that we've taken, it has all just been stuff in and around the hands. And the boys are adapting to it. We've spoken about it. Hopefully we can continue to get that out of our game. But yesterday was, for both teams, was a frustrating one.
So as disappointing as it maybe was that GB couldn't score as many on a power play against Lithuania, is it then a huge plus that the team was able to generate so much offence, even strength play?
We're really happy with our 5-on-5 play. We've got some very good skilled forwards that have got some good size, and I like the way that we were possessing pucks down low. I like the way that we were able to penetrate. I think our 5-on-5 play, O-zone, D-zone, neutral zone in the third period was a lot better. But again, every day we are striving to make ourselves better. And one of the main goals for the coaching staff is that these guys all leave becoming better hockey players that are able to adapt and take in more information and more details.
I think a lot of people at the start of the tournament would have highlighted sort of 2 or 3 guys offensively and thought those are the guys that GB might rely on. But at this point of the tournament, 14 players have recorded a point. Is that really encouraging from your point of view that so many players are chipping in offensively?
Absolutely. We want to try and spread the scoring as much as we can, but have our big guys, our big guys to lean on throughout. But if we're getting secondary scoring, then we're really happy with that. I think Finley has done a terrific job so far. And I think everybody back in Telford will be really proud of him.
Definitely. I just want to talk about a few individual players now, if I may. Bryan, obviously GB have won 2 games, so no one's talking about his performance. I think his save percentage is around 909, 910 at the moment. What do you think of his play so far?
I think Lucas has been solid. He's shown us some really terrific saves at times and he's saved us when we've needed to save, when we've needed saving, which is all you can ask for your goalie. He's very calm and collected in the net, which does promote a very positive and calming environment for the players. I think he's been really good so far.
Someone who didn't have a lot of hockey behind him heading into this tournament was Logan Nielsen. Obviously, he gets the hat trick. In the first game, he gets the insurance marker, the crucial insurance marker in the second game. What have you made of his performances?
Logan's been great. He's a big character, but his work rate on the ice has been really good. Obviously had a terrific game against Spain, but both pre-tournament games we were really happy with Logan. He just does his job, and he has a good skill set, great size, good hands. But I think he's been a solid ice hockey player for us so far.
So someone you'll know quite a lot about is obviously Nathan Ripley with the Coventry connection. I was quite impressed with him in the second game. Really unlucky to score about 5 minutes in. Lovely move, hit the crossbar. What have you made of Nathan's performance at these World Championships?
I think Ripple's adapted to playing in the middle. It's something that he doesn't quite do with Sheffield on a regular basis, but we know he's got that in him. Ripple's a great guy, both offensively and defensively, and probably one of the more important things that attracted to us to Ripley was the fact that he does get on the kill with the Steel Dogs, and he is playing in a lot of situations with Woody. So like Coventry, we had Ripper for 2 pre-season games and a Challenge Cup game at the beginning of the season, just to give him that added experience when we were able to use more guys before the season started. But I think he's done really well. He's taken some knocks. He's taken a puck in the chin. He's slashed his ear open. But the boy just wants to play, and I think he's worked himself up to being on the top line centre for Great Britain under 20s team.
I want to talk a little bit about face-offs and possession. Jack Hopkins is one of the leaders in the tournament with a 71.88 winning percentage in the face-off, and somewhat surprisingly to me, Oliver Endicott is up at 57%. Are those 2 guys maybe later that we get into the tournament, you're going to rely on those guys in the big moments, whether it's a penalty kill, whether it's a power play, to win those face-offs? Is that something that you guys, in your analysis and looking pre-scouting, is that something you take into account?
Yeah, we certainly do. We need to know who's winning the draws in the important times. We're working on some face-offs for the centres this afternoon when we were on the ice. But in terms of all 4 centres, they've all done a great job. Some numbers have been better than others, but for us, it's getting the right guy on the ice at the right time and making sure that we can win that draw, but also having the experience and having the guy on the ice that's going to be best in that situation. But I think Ollie Endicott has done a terrific job. Jack Hopkins has been flying.
Yeah, I think the offense will come for Jack Hopkins. I don't think he's been particularly lucky so far through 2 games. I can't not speak to you about Finley Howes, who has been, he leads the tournament in scoring. I'm not sure too many people would have predicted that before the game against Spain. Can you talk about why Finley Howes has had so much success in the first 2 games?
I think one of the biggest reasons would be the fact that he's here with his best pal. Him and Sammy Watkins have been terrific together. They've come through the Telford junior ranks and obviously they're now playing for Tommy. I think they've just having that chemistry pre-tournament has really helped get Finley off to a good start. So Finley has done a terrific job, but Sammy's been there with him.
I won't take any more of your time today. I just want to wish you and the guys all the very best for the next couple of games and, of course, the rest of the tournament.
No, thank you very much.